Good afternoon. My name is Eric Lightfoot, and I am pleased to interview today Mrs. Yolanda Holt, a Shelby County Schools world language teacher with over 15 years' experience of teaching Spanish. First of all, Ms. Holt, I would like to thank you for this opportunity to interview you.
Well, you're quite welcome.
The ability to communicate in a language besides English has become very important because we are now living in a multicultural global society. Many students don't see the value of second language acquisition. However, Ms. Holt wants to educate those who do not see the importance that they can take advantage of the opportunities to learn another language and its benefits. What drew you to world languages? Tell me the story of your journey to be a world language teacher.
Well, first of all, even as a child, I was always mesmerized when I would be out and I would see people speaking another language. It was always intriguing to me, and I always wished that I could do it too. And I never really stopped thinking about it. When I was in middle school and even in high school and college, I took Spanish. However, I didn't really learn it. I only learned like basic phrases and simple, vocabulary. But I still did not have the ability to actually be fluent and carry on full conversations. However, later on in my life, after I had my child, I ended up putting him in a full immersion school. And at the particular school that he was actually immersed in the language at, none of the teachers spoke English. All of the teachers were from different Spanish-speaking countries, and they were very nice people, and I would always be really frustrated when I would pick him up because I always wanted to communicate with them and, try to find out exactly how he was doing and what I needed to do for him, to make his experience better. And not just that, just, having friendships with them because a lot of them were so nice and I was not able to do that. So I don't know, I just started giving it serious thought, and I decided that I wanted to actually learn the language and become fluent in it because it benefited me, to be bilingual. So that's really how I got started. So I ended up going to University of Memphis, taking courses, and then I ended up studying in Spain and also got involved in the salsa world and made a lot of new friends that were native speakers. So all of those things combined helped.
Interesting. How did you manage to perfect your language skills?
I perfected my language skills by studying in Spain and actually being immersed in the language and being in a situation whereas I was forced to use the language for survival. That's really what, perfected my language skills.
All right, well, based on your experiences, how does learning another language benefit today's students?
I would say it benefits them in a variety of ways. First of all, it's impressive that you're bilingual and it develops confidence. It increases their brain power. It's been scientifically proven that students who study foreign languages tend to score better on standardized tests than their monolingual peers, particularly in categories of math, reading, and vocabulary. It also benefits you as far as travel. Like if you happen to visit a Spanish-speaking country, you're able to communicate with the natives and, have your needs met verbally. It helps you as far as employment. Whenever you're bilingual, of course, that's going to be a plus on your resume, and most especially with regards to being hired, and also opportunities to study abroad, and just makes you more open-minded and more culturally aware.
Well then, Ms. Holt, let me ask you this. What has been your biggest struggle as a world language teacher, and how have you coped with it?
I would say my biggest struggle as a world language teacher has been trying to teach Spanish in the urban school setting. A lot of the students aren't interested in learning how to speak Spanish, and they have the attitude that the Spanish speakers are here in their country, so they should have to learn how to speak English, and they shouldn't have to learn how to speak Spanish. So I have to, constantly give them speeches and make them aware of the fact that yes, they do come here and we do speak English here. However, they will be at an advantage because they'll be bilingual, and we have a huge influx of native Spanish speakers here. So therefore, if you notice when you call Verizon or you call AT&T or Memphis Light Gas and Water, they give you the option for Spanish and for English. So therefore, when jobs come available, they're going to look at the person who's bilingual over the person that's monolingual. So, being bilingual, it benefits you. It makes you smarter and it makes you more marketable. And I know that they're not interested in learning Spanish, so when I teach them, I try to find ways to, relate what I'm teaching to something that they're interested in. For example, all of my bell works are centered around some type of rapper or some celebrity that they like, or it's in Spanish, and it's something about themselves because students really love to talk about themselves. So I just find fun and interesting things for them to do and games for them to play that support successful language acquisition.
All right, well, what advice would you give to language learners to be successful at second language acquisition?
The advice that I would give students that are trying to acquire a second language is to pay close attention and to put forth an effort and never think that they can't learn it, because they can, and to try to put themselves in positions or predicaments where they're forced to use the language, or they're, in a position where they can practice it. For example, go to Mexican restaurants and order your food in Spanish, or try to have conversations with the native speakers in Spanish. Just try to use the language every chance you can, and, watch television in Spanish, read in Spanish, and try to, if they can, try to do a studies abroad program to some Spanish-speaking country, because that really helps with language acquisition.
Ms. Holt, a 15-year Shelby County Schools world language teacher from Memphis, Tennessee, is a strong advocate for second language acquisition. She wants people to see the value of being bilingual because clearly the benefits far outweigh pitfalls of being monolingual. Well, I think it's about time to wrap this interview up. Thank you, Ms. Holt, for your time and the opportunity to conduct this interview with you.
Thank you so much for having me and for interviewing me.
You're welcome.